I call this podcast the Online Growth Architects because I always seem to talk to people that make their money online.
Yeah.
They're big on growth. They're architects of what they do. So tell me, who is Andrew? I mean, I want to go back to your story and why you started in coaching, helping guys out, get their good physique. Like, fill me in.
How far back do you want to go? Do you want the full origin story?
Give me the nutshell.
Give me the nutshell. So how did I get into physique coaching? Basically, I started working out when I was 13 years old. I had a very rude awakening. I looked in the mirror one day and realized I was skinny fat. After playing soccer, I got addicted to video games, and my granddad was visiting from London, England. I was living in Canada. He basically looked at me and said, "You look like shit. You need to sort yourself out." And I was like, that's what I needed to hear. Started getting obsessed with the gym, and it started bringing me out of my shell. It started making me realize who I actually am. Started building a little bit more confidence. Obviously, at that age, you're motivated by things like women, whatever else it may be, being confident in social situations. And so as I started to see myself change, I wanted to get into personal training after school. And I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't even know what it meant when I was like 16, 17. Did sales, did a lot of jobs talking to people, working on my communication. And then eventually I got to the point where I was working in corporate and I realized I can't keep doing this. This is not getting me anywhere. On paper, it looks great. You're living in the West, you're making 80, 100K a year, but you're literally making maybe half a step forward every year. You got your rent to pay, everything costs a lot. And I said, I got to carve my own path because I can't be told what to do anymore. Hired a coach immediately because I was like, I'm not going to figure this out on my own. I'm going to hire someone, tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. Started building a little bit of momentum. Here we are.
Here we are today.
Yeah.
Bye.
So to answer your question, I saw how it changed my life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do the exact same thing for other people. And it was more than the physique.
Yeah.
It was who it made me become and the character development along the way.
I think if you talk to most men, a lot of them will say that the gym or working out has helped them out through some hard times in their life. Like, I've been training for 15 years. I couldn't imagine my life without it. It's completely different to kind of how you base things. For me, it's just the mental aspect, the confidence, like you said. If you're in business, we're both in business, entrepreneurs, it's everything.
Foundation.
This is why I wanted to talk about it. In terms of the guys that seek you out and who you help train, I mean, what do they look like and what do you help them with? Like, because is it identity? Is it business? Is it the money? Like, but it's all kind of wrapped into one.
It's all kind of wrapped into one. So people come in with fitness is the vehicle. It really is the foundation of what I've noticed for myself is that when my physique is on point, I'm actually treating it seriously. Like, I'm locked in with the gym, my diet's on point. I'm getting a positive feedback loop every single day. So every single time I see myself, I'm reaffirming that I'm becoming the version of myself that I want to be. And this starts to carry over into business, into your relationships, into small interactions you have. So guys come in wanting to get in shape, but we have to fix that first layer, the self-image, the identity, how we actually see ourselves. Because if you view yourself or you want to become a millionaire, 8% body fat, traveling across the world, if you don't even believe it's possible, how is it ever going to happen? It's not just going to fall in your lap. You have to act like him before it ever happens.
Yeah.
So we fix the identity, and then oftentimes they want to make money online. So I'll help them do that. I'll connect them with other guys. We have about 60 guys that are all entrepreneurs working in corporate. So I connect people, put them together, and make sure everyone benefits, right?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's in business, but not everyone's in fitness.
Exactly.
So you can just like bring it together a little bit.
100%.
Yeah, nice. I mean, look, you're completely spot on. The mindset is everything. If I always say this, if you want a recipe to feel terrible, wake up, don't get any sunlight, sit on your laptop for 12 hours, order in some food and go to bed. Like, I did that when I was kind of building up my business, like that hard grind in the first year. And I was like, man, something is so off. Now I'm so like, get sunlight in my eyes, like grounding, my meals have to be on point, water and stuff like that. And I like something Layla Hormozi said the other day. She's like, it's not businesses that go under. It's actually the business person that gets burnt out. It's the mindset first. That's what they always see.
I've realized that every time I've leveled up in business and hit a new milestone, nothing actually really changed in my inputs. It was my character development. It was what I thought was possible and the level I pushed myself to. It was like, if you asked me a year and a half ago when I first really started going all in on myself, I was doing all the same things I am now.
Yeah.
I just hadn't developed as a person. I hadn't extracted the ideas from my losses and my lessons. I hadn't been able to actually talk to someone and understand what they're dealing with and what the underlying factor is that's holding them back. I could give someone the best workout routine and the best diet plan, but if they're not even in a mental space to take in that information and apply it and actually make it work for their lifestyle, it's going to be impossible. They're going to get nowhere.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to really understand people's psychology. And as you said, that's all entrepreneurship is understanding yourself.
I think this is where people go or don't fully understand as a fitness coach, as much as I do now talking to you, is that I was like, it's easy, man. You get a 12-week program, some protein shakes, and you're good to go. Yeah. But you're exactly right what you said there. Like I could give people my entire business plan and how to get there, but I know 80 to 90% of them won't execute it because those everyday actions are too hard for people to follow.
100%.
It's like I've been doing bench press and squat and push-ups for 15 years.
Yeah.
It's the same movements
every day.
And it can drive you crazy and go, today I've got chest 15 years on. Like there's no crazy movement that's going to get me there.
There's no special shortcut. There's nothing exciting about it. It's showing up and doing boring shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks glamorous when you see the snippets. And that's what people sell online as the snippets, the lifestyle, the car, the watch.
Yeah.
But in reality, what it took to get that is unfathomable amounts of doing the exact same thing. Boring.
Let's touch on that because this really interesting topics in terms of guys getting in shape nowadays. And I've definitely experienced this myself because we have environmental factors, we have hormonal factors. Stress is probably like the biggest killer compared to, I think most studies have shown anyway. So we're dealing with a lot more environmental factors that are killing us. Like I think they cut up in 99% of guys had plastic in their like organs, like little microplastics.
Isn't it something like you eat a credit card a year?
Yeah, you eat a credit card a year. These things are just wreaking, like Wi-Fi, they're wreaking havoc on our bodies, like phones near our pockets for guys. I feel like guys get it quite bad because there's estrogen in the water. So everything's kind of attacking testosterone.
They're turning the frogs gay.
They're turning the frogs gay. Yeah. Do you feel like it's harder for men to get in shape nowadays? And do you kind of help them with that if they did have those problems? Because there can be a way where you are running an uphill battle. You could have the perfect diet, you could have the perfect training, but if they have low tests, if their sleep's off, if they're just business is wreaking crazy like stress on them, I just don't think they're going to achieve those results.
It definitely can slow things down, and the environmental factors play a role. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to say something somewhat controversial. I think a lot of people really focus on these small things like microplastics, Wi-Fi. These things are definitely not good for us, and testosterone levels have been dropping. But as you said earlier, if you want a one-way ticket to be depressed and you sit inside, get no sunlight, and stare at your laptop, you are cooked. Think of us 1,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago. What were we doing on a daily basis? We were going outside, we were hunting animals, we were exercising aggressively, and then resting. You need to design your life in a similar way. You need to be doing bursts of hard work, but also living your life, going outside, exercising. And this alone, in terms of your lifestyle, will increase your testosterone drastically. When we talk about environmental, if you're putting yourself in competitive places with other men that are also holding themselves to a high standard, training hard, trying to get women, whatever it may be, you're going to rise to that level. A rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting around, like, look at the classic computer or like video game addict.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Right? It's because of habits. I truly believe that things you do on a daily basis end up showing externally. And so low test, in my opinion, has a lot to do with your habits and your actions, and it's a reflection of your day-to-day life.
We are social creatures, and I think experiencing this as well, locking myself away on the laptop, grinding for a year, you just feel all the detrimental effects it can have on you, and you do feel very unhealthy about it. I mean, mentally, physically, whatever it is. But I think you're right there where you touched on a point where you need to be in a group of people. Like you can't get there on your own. You know, I used to be a lone wolf, like even just being like, this guy's really in shape, I need to do that. This guy's making, 100K a month, I need to jump on that. All these things.
Yeah.
You grow around the people that you are.
100%. And also it breaks your belief of what's possible, right? If you hang around a guy that's in crazy shape, all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, that's literally all it takes. It goes back to your point. There's nothing special.
Yeah.
It's just showing up, eating food, training really hard, and doing it consistently. It's same with the guy doing 100K a month. He's probably not doing system-wise that different than everyone else.
No.
He's just been doing it longer. He actually understands why he's doing it, and he understands the people he's speaking to.
I want to tell you a story. It's a funny one. So on that, because when I was kind of starting the business and I was like, in my mind, it was like, reach 10K a month, 10K a month. This was the goal. It was like, because in the corporate world, getting that 10K a month,
10K a month
was
in the
insane.
corporate world, you're living.
It was insane. It was like, I've just skipped 20 years of trying to be a doctor. Great. But anyway, I reached that point at 10K a month, and I called my business partner and I was like, man, going out tonight. Money is on me like this. I've done it. I've made it. I've reached the epiphany, right? I'd reached my goal at the top of the mountain. And I called him up and he was talking to me and he was like, oh yeah, I was just talking to this guy, you know, doing some real estate deals and stuff like that. Yeah, he's making 300K a month. Like, I went silent. I couldn't sleep for months.
Yeah.
Because actually it was not the surprise of him making that amount of money.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I couldn't fathom that amount of money. Yeah. And then I realized how limited my brain was in terms of that.
And you start, sorry to cut you off there, but you start really realizing how much your brain works against you.
Yeah, it does.
How many times a day you go, oh, I'm not possible of doing that because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, this happened to me. I was a shy kid, so I can't close more people. Whatever the excuse may be, you start actually auditing your brain on a daily basis and you go, wow, the only thing holding me back is myself. And every time I jump a new milestone, it almost doesn't feel like you actually accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not even the money. Like you hit that 300K and it's literally just about you progressing.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way?
I do. I don't feel like any amount you can reach, because as men, we always want more. We always want a faster car. We want a bigger house. We want this, we want that. So it's never fulfilling. So yeah, as our primal brain, it's like we're always meant to look for what's wrong, not what's right. And people don't really understand that. Yeah. And the biggest thing is I'd say it was quite controversial, is that people don't believe in themselves.
100%.
The only reason me and you are probably where we are right now in the situations in our life is because we don't allow self-doubt to win. That self-doubt is there for me every single day.
Yeah.
Maybe the way I look, maybe the way I did something, then maybe the money I'm not making, etc. Yeah. But it does not I don't allow it space in my head at all.
It doesn't affect the action.
It does not.
So a lot of people have a massive gap between thought and action, or it ends up being inaction because the thoughts are too powerful, right? They say, oh, I can't do it because of X, Y, Z, what we just spoke about. One of the most powerful skills you can learn if you want to make money online is literally getting that gap from thought to action to zero. And I talk to so many guys that want to make the leap, and they'll do everything. They'll set up their offer, they'll set up the funnel, they'll make a low ticket, high ticket, mid ticket, then do like a reoccurring offer.
Or stream tickets.
And I'm like, just post content.
Yeah,
Start posting, get one offer down, and just get it out there.
Okay, because let's jump on that, because this is something you're amazing for and I'm terrible for, which is posting content, building a brand. You build your entire business on a brand. Talk to me about when you first started posting content and how long it took for you to see results, because I think anyone kind of watching that does content or a business would want to understand that, because in my head, I'm in that as well. I'm like, oh, if I post for 3 months, I'll get this. If I post for 6 months, I'll get this. So you know, someone that's been successful at it, tell me about it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because when I started posting content, it would have been the beginning of 2024 is when I really started posting. I posted on Instagram, but it never felt natural to me. And especially where the fitness space was at the time, the content you were supposed to post was everything value. Hey, if you go to the gym and you do 3 sets of X, Y, and Z, you're going to get big biceps. But to me, that was never my mission with my brand. But I hadn't really aligned myself content to who I was. My thing was get the physique, get in great shape, now leverage it. You confident? Okay, now take that over to business, start a business. Okay, you look better, now you're going to get more opportunities. You're going to be able to make more money, close more deals, get in better rooms, get more women, whatever it may be. I was misaligned. So I started posting content, I started getting clients, but I was stuck at that 10, 15K a month for a long time before that alignment came. And that was when I started YouTube. I had posted quite a few times on YouTube. I would post maybe once every week, but it was very basic, generic content. It wasn't me. It wasn't authentic. I wouldn't get any clients from it. I'd get decent views, 1,000 to 2,000 maybe. But about 10 months ago, I had a conversation with Hamza. I met him at the gym, cult leader Hamza, if anyone's wondering. And he basically just told me, hey, man, just post every single day and just say what you actually think. Because we were having this conversation and we were talking our opinions on this, that, the other. We didn't agree on everything, but it didn't matter. So he just said, just post every day and just say what you think. And as soon as I started doing that, that's when things started to change, because I've realized that 90% of people making content show the 90% that feels safe, that they're not going to get in trouble for. It's the status quo. But the 10% that you don't want to show, your actual opinion, what you believe, what you experienced, and how you got here, and how you actually break down and solve problems, whether that's in your business or your physique, that may be controversial. That's the part that builds a brand.
Right.
That's what you need to show. So to answer your question in the longest way possible, about 10 months ago is when things really started to change for me.
And sorry, you were posting every day on YouTube or Instagram or
YouTube.
Okay, so you were doing a video there on YouTube.
Yeah, that's all I do. I don't post on Instagram at all.
Because as I understand it, so you're probably better at this stuff than me, is that YouTube compounds because it's an SEO.
Yes.
So if I go into Google and search something like how to tie a tie, a kid might do that in YouTube.
Yeah.
But that video will just sit there and compound compared to a reel that might come up on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, there's that. And it's also in terms of that alignment thing I was speaking about, I should have clarified, but I never felt aligned to Instagram.
Right.
Like if I didn't have a business, I wouldn't have an Instagram. I just don't like it. I don't like what people post on there. I feel like it's very performative a lot of the time. And so I needed to find a lane where I could speak authentically. And for me, that long form YouTube video where I speak for 8 to 20 minutes is perfect. Because if you can tell, like the ramble.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting because I think it's like these social media apps have a personality or an AI, and we're like choosing which one represents. I mean, people ask me like, "What's your Snapchat?" I'm like, "What's that?" I'm like, "I've been on Snapchat since I was 11, so I'm not even on that." But yeah, you're right. With Meta and Facebook, you have to be on there for a business. YouTube is the compounding effect. And so many other things like Substack and stuff coming out like X, stuff like that. But we just don't do it. It's too much.
You got to pick one. I think in the beginning until you have a team that handles your content and you just got to go all in on that. I think personally that's the best strategy. I think if you are someone that is very controversial and you're okay with pushing the boundaries and you want to hook people, Instagram's the play.
Yeah.
But I think if you want to build a long-term brand with trust and you have a lot of things or you like to go in depth, you got to go on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
And YouTube changed my life, so I'm loyal.
That's it. You need just one source of traffic, like I run Facebook ads. That's how I run my business. You've got organic traffic. But the difference between your business and my business is that they understand you as a person and they are buying from a person, whereas like they are seeing a product online that they want to inquire about. And those are to add is that's why a personal brand is so important right now. Tony Robbins doesn't sell himself as like Sony is Tony Robbins. Yeah. Like Stephen Barter's, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's all names. They're all product names.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. Do you think that if you can combine the two and kind of find that melting, that middle, that is going to be the most powerful aspect?
I've thought about this for myself and I know the answer.
Let's hear it.
My name's Neil McMillan. That was my dad's name and his dad's name.
Yeah.
But my company is Legacy Words because I want to create a legacy that lasts forever. And a person and a name could be tarnished. It can be, ridiculed, but a company can almost last forever, like a brand, like Nike and stuff like that. But my messaging is coming from myself as a person. So that's why the two separate for me.
I see.
So like, it's like my company name, which I do love, Legacy Words. It's the legacy I'm leaving and the words that matter. That's what Legacy Words came from.
Yeah.
That can be a brand. That can be software. That can be apps. That can be pages.
I see. So it's a parent company.
Yeah. It's my parent over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what have you seen change over the last couple of years with Meta ads?
So it's been hard. I've seen businesses go under and businesses that know what they're doing and spending $200K a month on ad spend because of the whole, what happened is Mark Zuckerberg from Meta bought all the AI chips for the metaverse and it failed massively. So that's why NVIDIA went up in stock. So when it failed, Mark Zuckerberg was like, Meta was like, we have all these chips, what do we do? Yeah. So they ripped out all the old machines and put all AI into their ads and was like, we're going to make this better for you guys. So now you can't put in targeting, who you're after, the avatar. You have to just put the good creative up and it has to find.
When was this?
Oh, this was the Andromeda update.
Oh, that was Andromeda.
6 to 8 months ago.
Yes, I remember that. Okay, so, and then it changed the way you actually have to set up your ads.
Change the way we set up our ads. We have to trust the AI, which is not always good, and the targeting, everything. So everyone was just losing ad spend overnight, losing businesses. They're getting wrong leads. They don't know how to. I mean, fortunately, I'm in an amazing network with guys that are doing, are great at what they do. So I learn all the stuff. For me,
that's why it's so important to have a network.
But it's the skills you have to stack as a business owner. People realize, like, I'm a copywriter, I'm an email marketer, I'm a Meta ad expert, I'm a sales closer. Yeah, I'm an invoice guy on Xero. Like, it's just like all these things.
Let's talk about this because once you get into entrepreneurship, you don't even realize how many things you have to stack. You think, I'm just going to post content and coach people. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm just going to be a fitness coach. Yeah, doesn't work like that.
You do.
What do you think are the 5 highest leverage skills you need to learn to be an entrepreneur if you want to be successful? I'm not talking 10, 20K. I'm talking like 50K plus.
Marketing, systems, and sales.
Marketing, systems, and sales.
Marketing in terms of how you're going to get the leads and everything you do. Systems in terms of running in the background, the edits, all the softwares and everything. And sales, people, communication.
I can't argue with that.
Those are the 3 milestones that you need to run in any business.
I think a lot of people with systems actually under-deliver. And I see this a lot in the business coaching world for fitness coaches.
Yeah.
They'll be amazing in marketing and sales. They'll crush it. They'll get the best closers. They'll go viral constantly. They'll have a framework and they just rinse and repeat it for years, like usually 1 to 2 years. Then all of a sudden, they have 200 clients, can't fulfill. Can't deliver the product. They don't have the one-on-one time with the clients. And the next thing you know, things start crashing down. They start getting repoed on their SVJs.
I was spoken to quite a few companies, and if you're right, if one is off, I actually spoke to a guy the other day. I don't know if I want to blast this on the thingy, but he was doing Alex Eubank's account. I was a setting. Now I don't know how many followers Alex Eubank has. It's about 4 or 5 million, 2 million, right? Okay. Every bit of source of traffic you could ever dream of coming in. But the setter told me is that, you know, he was like 80% of the leads were terrible.
Yeah, I believe.
So they were 20%. There were all 5 setters, by the way, all after this like 150 leads a week. So the marketing was off. So the setting was off, and then the sales was off. And it's like, I don't care how good your product is. It all depends on sales.
True.
I'm really good at sales, and I'm probably, I've been in sales for 10 years. I've knocked on doors. I've sold for charities. I've sold mobile phones after university. I mean, all this sort of stuff I can sell myself, but I'm still learning.
Yeah.
And I'm in group. I want to be around people better than me, which I am currently at the moment. And Bali has actually brought that up for me.
Yeah. Bali's got some good closers, especially if you want to find like hungry closers. There's some good ones out here.
I saw a guy on Instagram today. He's like, I came to Bali and everyone's broke. Everyone's just like at the beach, and I was like, mate, it's the opposite for me. No, it's the opposite, because I've never met so many rich people. I'll be at a cafe at 10 p.m. and then like in a shisha bar, and someone will be on their laptop doing code, and I'm like, fuck, these just makes you think. It makes you think.
It depends on the places you go in Bali. I think there's different niches, especially if you start going to the gyms here, you start to figure that out. Like if you go to Obsidian, it's all the OnlyFans and the actual like broke fitness creators that stay there all day. But if you go to some of these other gyms like Reload, my gym, I don't want to say it, but Elite. Elite. If you go to these gyms, you'll meet killers, people that are crushing it.
Yes, absolutely.
But what I think about Bali is it is a reflection of who you are.
It does reflect the mirror of what you're doing. If it's the weirdest thing to explain, because I just moved from Australia. Okay. Drum roll. We're both in Bali. We live in Bali. But I moved from Australia 3 months ago, and I was like, life's going to be easier. It's cheaper. I can relax more. I've never been more busier. My business is 3x'd. My mindset is 3x'd. My network, my relationships, my spirituality, everything. Which people might say that's cheesy or whatever. But it's an energy that's just pushed me beyond limits. And isn't it funny when you work for someone, you get tired at 5 p.m. But if you work for yourself, it's unlimited energy.
Oh my God. 12-hour days every day.
12-hour days.
And also,
it's 3 a.m. Better go to bed.
The setup we have, we live in the same building. The setup we have where it's serviced, I cannot recommend this enough for an entrepreneur to disproportionately invest into this type of lifestyle. The infrastructure, live in a service department where they clean for you. You have a laundry place downstairs. All your food is delivered and the macros are counted. Like no thought goes into the mundane daily tasks. Like there's zero friction. All you need to do is show up and work out. And then in the evenings, you go grab a cigar. I mean, you see me smoking a cigar.
I love a cigar. I've only started smoking cigars since Bali. I mean, I grew up a singer, so I didn't do that. But now I do. Bali brings it out of you.
The outside perception of Bali is interesting from what I've seen. Like I saw a YouTube video recently where it was talking about it's all OnlyFans chicks and everyone's broke. And they like interviewed people on the street and all the comments were like, this guy's not making 400K. He was like a property developer. And I was like, people have no idea. I mean, I understand their perception, but when you actually live here and you're in the right places, it's, in my opinion, probably one of the best places to be.
And we've been Thailand, we've been like Vietnam, everywhere, so we felt it. But first of all, if we're on the beach at 3 p.m., that's probably why they're broke and they're going to be. I'm at work.
That's right.
No, but let's touch on that because that's super interesting in Bali. Is just like, and this isn't putting anyone down. People are doing OnlyFans, whatever. People are doing skills. I met this guy, and like the people are really struggling to make the money online. And I don't want to like bring that in to do what we do. Even going back to 10K, 100K a year, that is incredible. If you can do that off your own back and your own name and your own product and bring that in every month. And I had to stop and kind of really say that to people and be like, yeah, bro, you're making 5K, a month. You're living out in Bali. Like what's the US and the UK minimum wage? Minimum wage in the UK is like you're left with something like £2,000 a month. £2,000 a month is the minimum wage in the UK. It's like 30, 40K a year.
Is that the median across the whole country?
That's like the median. So I think again it's been a while, but 32k a year is the minimum. If you're on 50 to 60k a year, you're middle class in the UK.
That's
Only 5 to 10% of people make 100k a year in the UK, and they're considered like upper class. So that's what I'm saying is like, if you put in like a first world country in perspective, if you're on 5,000 USD, 5,000 pounds,
killing it.
You're killing it. As is in, if you can bring that money in every month, and people this is what like you don't see on podcasts or on YouTube, because people bring it down and go, yeah, unless you're 100k, you're a loser. Yeah. It's like, no, it's the people that can outlast years. And I can take my laptop or my iPad or everything, go anywhere, and I can make the same money now, which has been hard to get to.
I actually had a guy comment on my video that I posted yesterday. He was asking me, he just got a sales job in London. So shout out to this guy. I can't remember his username, but he said, I just got a sales job in London. It's remote. Do you think it's possible for me to move out to Southeast Asia? I'm like, bro, not only is it possible, it's a smart thing to do, because your money will 10x in terms of leverage. That lifestyle that you can afford in London on whatever your salary is going to be terrible in comparison. You could live like a king on 5k a month here.
It's true.
I mean, my monthly expenses are probably like 4k US, and I live luxuriously.
Mine's 4 or 5k, yeah.
Yeah.
Not taking any business expenses, but I mean, look, I'm visiting the UK in August in a few months, and I was looking at hotels, which, well, by the way, is a square box room with a kettle from the 1930s, and it's like 100 USD.
No windows.
100 USD a night.
Yeah, I was living in London last summer.
Oh, right.
For 2 months. It was a nightmare.
It's insane.
It's a nightmare. Canada's the same thing.
Yeah, because it still kind of goes pounds, USD, CAD,
and then Oz, and then IDR.
Yeah, and then IDR. Yeah, that's not saying you live in London, because I grew up in England for 27 years. I used to sing and play gigs in London and Brighton, and I used to travel, and I used to always go, yeah, it's a big world. I couldn't live here, and I would always pay like just so much more money. I remember paying £8 for a bottle of water near the museum.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's $16. That's insane. So it's the rich place for a reason in terms of that. But look, I think Bali, everyone's moving out to the west, so the east, leaving the west. Yeah, Australia is now 47% like tax in some ways. This is probably the highest tax in the world. Capital gains, they tax you on what you're making, what you're spending out. It's insane.
You mentioned the middle class. Like, if you're making 50, 60k, there is no middle class. If you live in the west, there's no middle class.
Out, you're right, yeah.
Like, even when I was making 90, 100k on my job, when I lived in Canada a little over 2 years ago, I was a middle class. Like, I could barely afford rent. Like, I could barely afford a car payment. Like, you're broke. Yeah. You either have it or you don't. And you're better off not having it, because they subsidize you in every step of the way.
They do, which is supposed to create the hustle culture now for young people. And sorry, mums and dads, but we are more stressed out than ever. You can't get by on a normal job. You can't reach for a house. So I see like these 16-year-old killers on YouTube on the phone being cold callers, killing it. Yeah. Because of the pressures there. The gun is to your head, and it's now like, if you want to be something, if you want to be anyone, you have to have a side hustle. Like, everyone has a side hustle. Everyone has a second job. We're all burnt out. Let's bring that back onto in terms of the expectations of men, the pressures and the responsibilities, because we've all felt it. Yeah. And it's more apparent than ever, because I've been on dates with girls, and maybe it's the first thing they ask, like, what do you make? What do you do? Really? It's like, so it's transactional. Where was it? That's fine. This has been in Bali. This has been in Australia. This has been in most places. This has been in some places, and that's fine. It's expected. Yeah. But it's a transactional thing now, which is like, I'm adding your value to you as a man on how much you make and how successful you are. Yeah. But then when you're working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, they're like, why are you so busy?
Oh, they hate it. All the things that make you successful as a man, women hate. Yeah. Pride, ego, and being narcissistic is how you win in business. Like, you have to have a level of narcissism to believe that you are the special one and you are going to succeed while everyone else fails, because you get survivorship bias, right? Yeah. Have you ever heard, it's like in World War II, it's like, 100 planes left, and then one comes back, but it's riddled with bullet holes, and it's like, oh, you're so lucky, but you didn't see the 99 out that got shot down. It's
that like I say, like I felt seeing it. So I love the saying is, it's like, you can either party your 20s up and become an underskilled 30-year-old, or you can basically work them up and become an underlived 30-year-old. Yes. The choice is yours.
I'll take underlived every day.
Well, there you go. But I spent 15 years of my life as a professional singer and a musician. I remember that's what I was going to do with my life. I was left school at 16 and I did that. but due to like an operation that went wrong, I couldn't sing anymore. So my years between the age 29, 30 and 31 was so painful for me personally, because all I knew was how to play guitar.
Transitional.
So the transition was like, oh God, I'm 30 here.
Yeah.
And I don't make the money like these other guys that have been hustling. All I can do is play guitar.
The comparison.
So that came out this like cold-blooded killer of get your head down, stay in your room for 2 years, get the skills. And now I'm kind of, then that pressure is still there. But we certainly feel it. I mean, in terms of guys, it's
I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I felt like, because when I grew up watching the fitness industry, I actually bought a camera to make YouTube videos in like 2019. I bought a Canon M50. Canon M50, I think it was. Never used it. Because at the time, right, I was already in my like early 20s, and a lot of the guys at the time, like I'm talking the Chris Lovatos, the Matt Oguses, like the OG fitness days, Chris Jones, like my physique wasn't there.
Right.
And so by the time I got to like 26, 27, it was all the younger group, like the young LA guys, like James English, Sush, all these guys. And I'm like, I'm too old.
Yeah.
So I always felt like I was too young before, and then I was too old, even though I had the physique. So I was in this phase where I was like, man, like my dreams have just slipped away and I have nothing left. And then it was like, okay, the coaching space started becoming more popular. I started actually understanding how to make money online, because when you're looking from the outside in, it's like a whole nother world. You can't even comprehend it. And every time you see it, you're like, oh, that's probably a scam. Oh, that's bullshit.
Wait for all that, yeah.
And then once you start getting into it, you're like, oh shit, like there's actually potential here if I just work. And I literally, as you said, put my head down and I just problem solve constantly.
Men are suffering more than ever. Like if we look at like any statistics, it's like, you know, coming from the UK, you come out of uni, you can get a job, like 3 men a day kill themselves. Like men are looking for a catalyst. They're looking for a catalyst to escape their life, to add status, to be able to get all the girls, to have the business. And it's like, I don't know if you feel this pressure as well. It was like, until I'm at that kind of capability, I'm not going to be happy. So we're putting our value as you're saying, your physique, which is, I'm not happy with my physique. I'm not happy until I get here. So it is that huge hustle culture, which I don't think people are seeing on guys. And I speak this kind of as like an advocate for men, which is quite an unpopular thing, because I do speaks for it now, and I do talks about it, because the biggest word I lean on here is purpose.
Yeah.
I lost my purpose and I was able to regain and find another one. The worst advice I ever was told was to follow your passion. Yeah. Because passion doesn't pay the bills.
And passion doesn't, you don't even know necessarily what you're passionate about until you really sink your teeth into something. You could become extremely passionate about making sure people have the best marketing and making sure their business grows, and then you're able to benefit off of that, but you won't know until you try.
Yeah.
Saying live off your passion, like what's your passion? Most guys don't have a clue.
And that's the problem. They're just kind of spinning wheels. And like I say, look, your passion will change very quick when you're able to like retire your family, take your missus out, have a nice house. You're like, you know what? I actually wasn't very passionate about that, because now I'm much happier. So it's that spin where I just kind of really want to kind of ground the message of like, a lot of guys are doing everything and they can to get ahead in business and leave the system, which everyone calls the matrix.
Yeah.
Relationships are failing at every level because, well, men and women, and look, there are problems on both sides. I'm not going to say that.
No doubt.
But, you know, 80% of marriages are ending in divorce.
Yeah.
There's more single people than ever. I mean, I'm personally 35 and I might date someone that's my age. And then I'm also thinking, I'm like, why are we both single at 35? Our parents' age.
What's wrong with us?
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But there's a single epidemic right now 100%. Going on. There's dating apps. It's always like the grass is green on the other side. If you don't fulfill my needs or my, you know, expectations immediately, then it's on to the next. And people wonder why. So we're unfulfilled in our work, we're unfulfilled in our relationships and everything else. So I think when you move out to Bali and you experience all this stuff and you leave that 9-to-5 world of like the hustle, going to work and then going on a date on a Sunday, like it all just changes for you.
100%. I would say though, like, I think the hustle culture is a good thing in terms of right now for men. I think if this isn't going to push you over the edge to get the life you want, you were meant to stay in the, I don't even want to call it the average now because it's below average. Like it is, if you were in the middle class, you are in a pretty bad spot.
You're holding on for dear life. You've got white knuckles.
Literally, like there's no getting ahead. Like you have to be resourceful and you have to find a way to win. And the best thing about this is it's on you. Like it is your responsibility. You have the ability to do it, but you have to be willing to take that jump. And when you say catalyst, you basically summed up my program. Is like I get guys that confidence through their physique, because a lot of times guys think they're a loser just because they can't get in shape. Like imagine you've been trying for 7 years and you're still skinny fat, and every time you see yourself, you're like, fuck, I am a loser. I can't even lose this belly. And then as soon as you finally see yourself, you're like, holy shit, I can actually accomplish things. I can actually make change in the real world. I can bend reality.
Yeah.
And then that's when things start to compound.
It is absolutely everything from the start. Yeah. If you, because obviously, like, you know, you've trained me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've thought I knew it all in terms, but the coaching of the nutrition and stuff, that it's like, it's not known knowledge. You are a coach. You are a fitness coach for a reason.
Yeah.
I do what I do for a reason, because we know these details inside out. So when people get that I truly believe in mentors. I truly believe in coaches and take it to the next level. Again, I always want people better than me around me to constantly grow. But yeah, once they get the actions, like making your bed every day, little actions that you can
small
achieve.
things. Yeah.
It's like, it's the simple things done well every single day, monotonous tasks where you're like, yeah,
you have to reframe the way you view yourself. So you have to make your bed and be like, I'm the best bed maker on fucking planet Earth.
Yeah.
Like no one does it like literally.
Iron out.
Dude, you have to just every step of the way, everything is a win. And even if you take a loss, you have to look at it. Okay, I needed this. God or the universe, whatever the way you want to see it, put this in my life to intervene because I wasn't paying attention to this. I can't tell you the amount of times in the last 2 years. First of all, it's only been 2 years since I've really gone all in on myself. Left Vancouver, moved out to Bangkok, booked a one-way ticket. Never been to the country before. And I was so certain I was gonna make something for myself. I was making $1,000 a month online. But the amount of times I feel like I have evolved as a person, because almost like a catastrophic event that probably would have ruined me before I left Canada just made me a better version of myself. It made me look at my shadow and like the thing subconsciously that's been directing my entire life and being like, holy fuck, that thing was giving me a tap on the shoulder constantly, and I just always neglected it. And now you have to face it. And now once you get over that, you've just leveled up and become a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference in knowing yourself. And that's how you progress. If you know yourself better.
No one ever learned anything from success. Suffering is a gift.
Realest thing I've ever heard.
There you go.
Realest thing I've ever heard. There's almost times now where I want a catastrophic event to happen. I'm like, I need something bad to push me.
Yeah, I think the older you get, I mean, like, as I said, the saying goes, is a man's life starts at 30. I mean, but I look back now and I'm like, it's just too much of a beautiful design to be an accident. Yeah. Like when I look back, it was such hard times at the time. And I was like, why me? Maybe a victim mentality. Yeah. But now I look back and I'm like thankful. It's like I say,
beyond thankful.
It just creates you to that person. So
I want to hear what your goals are for the next 6 months. Where are you going to be?
Realistic steps and what I'm trying to do, unless I'd have them written down, is we seem that we're just in, because when I used to do coaching for a little while, like personally one-to-one for other people, the first question I'd ask is, draw me your dream life. As if I'm a genie and I give you a wish, draw me out your dream life. You can have anything you want. Do you know what the problem was?
What?
Is that 99% couldn't even do that.
Don't have a fucking
So I went, okay, so we're going to work every day, we're doing this, and you don't know what we're trying to achieve. Step number 1.
100%. That is the most important thing. So many guys come into my program and I ask them, like, what do you want your physique to look like? Who do you want to become? And what do you want your lifestyle to look like? And they don't have a clue. I want to be leaner. Okay, but what do you want your physique to look like? How does that guy think daily? You need to become him right now, or else, as you said, you're coasting. You have no idea. You're going to be in the exact same place.
If you don't decide on how you feel about yourself and the world will do that for you.
100%. And you'll be swayed every single day by what happened in politics, Iran, Dubai, whatever's going on.
But yeah, no, in terms of goals, look, I'm expanding into America with the business. I mean, I might be touching the UK and London. I've got teams. There's financial, obviously, goals that I want to hit. I think a big one this year is, spending more time with the family, because I've obviously been so far away. Work on myself and stuff like that. But again, I don't think I've been happier.
That's good.
Which is hard to, if you say.
What do you think the difference maker is?
Understanding myself fully.
Yeah.
Understanding exactly the way I am, what makes me happy.
Yeah.
My problems, my problems and outcomes that got me to this position. Living in Bali is probably a good one. Like the pressure I felt in Australia is insane. So a little kind of recap is that I had to work certain jobs to stay in the country, my visa. So I would do this 9 to 5 that I hated, and I'd come home and I would do my 5 to 9.
What were you doing? And
I was doing recruitment. So I was like in construction jobs, getting guys. So I would spend months getting these contracts, and then all these boys wouldn't show up at 6 a.m. I'd be calling them, and then it would just like lose me the contract. And I was like, this is the biggest waste of my time ever. But without that terrible job, it wouldn't have pushed me onto the online world to go, I need to get out of this.
You need that fire. You need something that is going to make you like, I cannot do this another day. Exactly. If you don't have that, you need to create it for yourself. That's the best advice I can give someone, because I was in the exact same place when I was in Canada. Like on paper, I was doing well, 90, 100K a year.
Which is great for Canada and US, by the way.
Remote. I was remote as well, so I was working from home. Like I was stacking bread. I had a lot of money saved up. But I remember just sitting in meetings and hearing people complain about the job. And I'm like, you chose to do this. You chose to be here, and I have to now listen to you complain. And I remember one day, my best friend, we used to work together at the same job, and we were on the same team. And this woman would complain every day. And I literally we would go for walks and smoke cigarettes at the time. And I remember just saying, like, dude, if I show up for another week, I will paint the walls red. Like I'm not even
carrying. Talk about this one more time.
I can't take it.
It's the people. I know. It's that everyday men like me and you.
Yeah.
We have to lead.
Yeah.
We
exactly.
can't be followers.
Oh.
One of my favorite stories is Alexander the Great. Let me tell you why. It's been shown that if you're born with nothing, you're more hungry, you're poor, right? Alexander the Great was born a prince.
He was born with everything.
He woke up in golden sheets. He could have any woman he want.
He was the prince of Macedonia, right?
Yeah. He went off to conquer further and more than any other conqueror ever did.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? It's like it's either in you or it's not.
Yeah, and some guys it can be like woken up for sure. I do think so. But when I say create that internal pressure, like even after I had already booked the ticket like 6 months out to go to Bangkok, and I was leaving behind a girlfriend, I was leaving behind everything. I sold everything I had, go to a country I'd never been to. I created internal pressure. Like I'd look around and like, and this is not a healthy thing to do, but you have to, I'd look around and be like, I fucking hate this place. I hate the people I see. I hate how the lack of ambition. You have to create this force that will propel you to the next step, because especially when you're starting out, it'll be so unbelievably uncomfortable. Booking a one-way ticket across the world when you're making $1,000 a month,
scary.
It's terrifying.
There's no backup. There's no guarantee. There's no like I can't go and sleep on my dad's couch. There's just you and that's it.
That's it.
I was homeless in Sydney for a little while because the housing issue. I was sleeping on a friend's couch. I was so uncomfortable because I was just like, bro, can I sleep on your couch? Like there was literally nowhere for me to live, and I can't get a ticket back to the UK. Yeah. And I'll never forget. We finally got a house, and I got down to my last dollar in my bank account, and the buses, when you tap on the bus in Sydney, it's $3. So I couldn't get the bus to work, and I was like, I'm going to be late. So I had to ask my friend to send me $5. And that was probably a low point of my life, but I'll never forget. And
do you look back on it
good
fondly?
Story now.
Do you look back on it fondly in a way?
I look back and I'm like, you know, first of all, the guy I was living with, I owe you $5. But second of all, it's like to get that low.
Yeah.
You know, it's and then to add on to that, like I keep telling the story, I kind of lost, I got my tonsils out and the operation went wrong. I couldn't sing anymore. But because that's the only skill I had, I was singing in bars in Sydney at the weekend just to pay rent, but it was painful. I was like pushing through the pain. So I was singing 3-hour shows that, I mean, go for a 3-hour run and see how you feel if you're not a runner. Yeah. It was painful. Yeah. So I was pushing through. And those are the low points of my life. And I was just like, man, why is everything against me? Why is nothing working? And why am I sleeping on a couch? Why am I still singing in bars when I'm trying to do this? And then, like I say, I think copywriting was the catalyst for me. I became really good at writing, doing emails and stuff like that. And
how did you get into it?
It was actually Andrew Tate's Real World.
Really?
The first online kind of thing. And that's how that was desperate, because it was like the ads were hitting me on Facebook or whatever. And I was like, $50 a month, what's there to lose? Yeah. And that was, again, what you said, the scam mind. It was like the prime, oh, this is not going to work, whatever. But I was like, I can lose $50. Yeah. Third about copywriting, I was like, what's copywriting? Is that when your grandma had that big typer thing and ching? And I was like, no, so it's the words that persuade people and brands to sell. Amazing. Yeah. Started doing email campaigns. I remember the first time I sat down, and because I've got a background in sales, which probably helped me out a lot, I cold called 500 numbers. And out of those 500 numbers, I got one client, and she was a personal trainer. Changed her life. She's still a client today, actually. Yeah, really? 2 years on.
What's her name?
I guess I do her like ads and stuff like that. But at the time, I think I got like $200 for the first ever job.
Oh, life-changing.
And I was just like, once that kind of sweet sensation hits.
Well, how many bar gigs would you have to do for $200 in Sydney?
It'd be a 3-hour show for $270. But you're talking about,
pain, suffering,
showing up at 5 to set up, get home till midnight, you're not eating dinner, that type of thing. But that's why the music life wasn't for me. But again, now look at this, everything happened for a reason. Like in terms of where we are in business, we've got skills.
That first initial amount you make, I think my first amount I ever made online was $50. $50, but it shatters your worldview and what you think about making money. And oftentimes you think of it as this scarce thing that you have to like go get from someone else. You have to go to a job and then they'll give you a T4 and then that's like a tax return thing in Canada, but you have to go through the system. But once you realize you can just make it online, you can just spawn it out of thin air. Yeah. It's life-changing.
It is.
It's a talk about a catalyst.
Where you are now in your life,
Yeah.
you're feeling successful, I mean, you're making good money. Like, are you truly happy right now and fulfilled?
Happy is a feeling that comes and goes.
Okay.
I would say I am fulfilled because I know every single day I'm living true to myself. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, I don't see people I don't want to see. I don't do things I don't want to do. I make content that I want that actually aligns with me. And the business that I've created now is not necessarily traditional for fitness coaches, but it's something I spoke into existence like 6-7 months ago. So I feel fulfilled in that aspect, but I still have a long way to go. I'm still constantly climbing the ladder and trying to achieve more, but I've always been bred that way. So I'm okay with being unsatisfied and content.
You're like me. You can suffer for a long time, and you can just like you'd be
That's the
like,
fun part.
you'd rather make 50K a year on your own, living on an island, than 100K for working for someone ever again.
I'd find a way to make 100. I'd find a way to make 100 on the
I
island.
start OnlyFans, and I would have only one fan.
Yeah. So to answer your question, am I happy? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, what even is happy? Can you define happiness to me?
Happiness for me is gratitude and not focusing on what I don't have.
Oh, then yeah, definitely I'm happy.
Because I always focused on what I didn't have. I think like for me, it was growing up, I was born in the middle of England. Everyone around me had a victim mindset.
Oh.
This job's terrible.
That's the UK.
Let's sell drugs. I was around selling drugs. It was always like a quick way out. And I was like, I just don't want to do it this way. Like, so actually a lot of training of like, I mean, the thing that changed my world, I think, was 16. I got a hold of my first Tony Robbins audiobook, and I used to listen to that 3 hours. Like, you can change your life, like in my ear. Like,
You got to brainwash yourself.
You have to brainwash myself. And I was like, I'm invincible. I can do anything I want. And that carried on to music. That carried on to the traveling and going around the world. I'd be like, my mom would be like, where you going? I'm going to Vietnam. She's like, but you've only got 300 pounds. I was like, yeah, it'll be fine.
Fuck it. We'll see
what happens.
We ball.
Back. So it's just what it is.
Brainwashing yourself. If anyone thinks those books are pointless self-help books, like brainwashing yourself is the most powerful thing you can do, because when we spoke earlier about like when you start auditing your mind and realizing how negative you are, if you start replacing those with positive affirming things and you actually take action, it works. I mean, when I hit my first 50K month, I didn't feel a thing. Because I had already done it. I had already written down that I was going to do it 3 months prior. I literally would write down every single day, and this is one of my identity shifting protocols, but I literally say that I've already hit the number. I say, I am Andrew Russell. I have made X amount per month. I do this. I post every day. This is the way I think. This is the way I act. And so when you actually get the things, you've already been there for months, so it doesn't feel like anything.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the most important things that I've ever done and actually changed.
It sounds silly, but our minds are like a rocket, missile rocket, and it's like it's going towards what we constantly think about. It's like if you're in a car and it's like, don't hit that sign, don't hit that sign, and hit that sign, and you just like hit that sign. You're just like
100%.
That's what the mind's like. Yeah. 100%. So understand the mind. That's why I'm feeling the gratitude and happiness. I mean, I'm 35, I'm a bit older, but like I say, I've traveled the world, I've done all these things, I've done every job. I've had 50 jobs. I make the joke that my dad's had 3 jobs in his entire life, and I've had like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Like construction, bar work, like management, like warehouses. My first ever job was in a factory in England. I was 16 years old, and I was like tall at the time they would roll me tires, and I would flip them up my knee and throw them into the truck at the back all day long. And I couldn't move my back when I came home from work, and it was £6 an hour. I was like 17.
You learn hard work.
And I was like, I've done some serious jobs to make me go, you're sitting at a laptop, what are you moaning for? Like,
same thing for me. My dad made me start working construction for him. He had a construction company, but not a big one, like sole proprietor, self-employed. When I was 12, he would make me go to job sites every summer. So I didn't get a summer as a kid. From like 12, 13, 14, no summers.
Is that why you're so tan now?
That's why I'm so tan. I've held it this long.
There you go.
So yeah, he would make me work construction and be a laborer, and same thing, just carry buckets of mud all day, 12 hours a day. And because it's his job site, we're not staying 8 hours. Everyone else leaves. You're staying till 12, like 7, 8 p.m.
My son's getting the best lessons ever.
100%. Best. And you know what? The best thing he ever told me, the architect pulled up in a BMW. I can't forget it. It was at a place called Forest Lawn in Burnaby, British Columbia.
Yeah.
I still remember it now. The architect pulled up in a BMW like midday. And my dad stopped me and he's like, if you want to be like him, you better never fucking do this shit again in your life. And I was like,
you got to scare you like that. It's like going to prison.
Reality
Yeah,
check.
you got to realize.
I got scared straight like on prison shows. Yeah.
People are too soft and woke now. Obviously, like in the it's just like, oh, I don't want to do this job because it doesn't align with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're like doing admin for 9 to 5. Have you ever been on a construction site? Have you ever sang like a 6-hour show? Like it's that's easy work. Like, and they're not like, oh, I'm not going out of bed for that. I mean, Australians are like, I'm not getting out of bed for less than $30 an hour.
There is something though. Like even if you're working construction, at the end of the job when you finish it, it is quite fulfilling.
Yeah,
It does feel quite.
You feel like you've done something with your day.
Exactly.
But then that's also a lot of the chemicals going through physical all day, and you're outside, and you're breathing air and all that sort of stuff. Like I had to do the farm work in Australia out in the outback for my visa. So it's 3 months of farm work. And I remember picking blueberries. I don't know if anyone's ever picked blueberries before, but they're singular. So you had to use you had a bucket around your neck and you do this, and you couldn't break the blueberry. So it was like the hardest work ever, but softest. And I was just like this all day long. And I was like, man, I know what hard work is now.
Yeah, that's.
So then I would put that over to myself, and it's like 12-hour days. I'm like, yeah, cool. Made an email flow. Amazing. Like, like, you know, so it's not over.
It's never been easier. It's never been easier as a man to create wealth.
Exactly.
You just got to be willing to take risks.
Yes.
All right.
Drew, amazing. Thanks for coming on. It's been amazing as ever.
Me, brother.
We'll stay tuned for
100%. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. My man.
Thank you guys. Thank you, bro.